Do you want to deal 700,000 damage with T3 weapons in your Bagliore against a Atlas? Oh, you don't trust me? Okay, just a few seconds and take a look. It's done. You still don't trust me? No problem. I'll just shoot an ultimate archer here and teach you in the hangar how to build it. Hey everyone, welcome back to our Robots Academy. I am Rilo with another day, another guide. In today's video, I will cover this monster build called Incinerator Bagliore. Some of you may think that this is not worth to use, but after seeing the first seconds of this video, you may be thinking, okay, I can give it a chance, and trust me, this can do wonders to your hangar. First of all, let's talk about the weapon itself. This is a T3 weapon, a purple one, which is not as strong as it used to be in the past, but it has an interesting effect of the blast effect here. Let me show you in some detail. So here in this visualization we have this blast chart. So this blast chart is the explosion effect, that it starts accumulation by the time that you hit the enemy with these missiles. And the important part of this effect is that it ignores defense points. Okay, Murilo, but what about defense points? Defense points are something very important in this game because it's present in all of the Titans. For example, in Bjorn, at max level it has 220 defense point, which means almost 70% damage reduction. So instead of dealing, I don't know, 1,000,000 damage with your robot to the Bjorn, you will only deal 300,000 damage. Look, it's a great reduction. That's why Titans are so hard to deal with. But with these weapons, we can start thinking of some effects and some builds here. And now let's start looking at the core of this build. One of the core of this build, I can call it. It's the pilot Peregrine Aim. Maybe you've never seen this one, and you are using Novelite because it reels your durability 45%, which is great. But I'm showing you something different, something more offensive to your hangar. And the pilot ability is that Scout, Scorch, and Incinerator partly ignores enemy defense points, and it ignores 50% of the enemy defense points. In the case of Bjorn, instead of having 220, it will have 110, and instead of reducing 70%, it will reduce only 55%. See, so we're starting to reduce this defense power and this reduction power that it has. Next step into this build is the specialization for the Bagliore. Instead of using damage dealer with nuclear amplifier, which is good, don't get me wrong, this is good, this is awesome for the majority of the builds, for the majority of the time, but I'm showing you something different that you may have forgotten that it exists. Is the Piercer unit, that in max level it gives you 20% extra defense mitigation, and if you have 2, you have 40%. This plus 50% from the pilot, you get 90% defense mitigation. So remember that Bjorn with 220 defense points, now it will only have 22 defense points, and in the place of 70% damage reduction, it gets only 18% damage reduction. This, combined with the extra damage that I will show you, will change your mind of using this build. But okay, if you are a free-to-play player, if you are a free-to-play player and you already have damage upgraded, don't worry, don't change to attack only for this build, because this is a good module, passive module. You can also get extra defense mitigation. The only problem is that you have to deal a lot of damage, tons of damage, to stack it and reach 95 accumulations. But okay, if you're a free to player, I don't recommend you to change to attack only because of the speed. Continue, stick to your nuclear amplifier, because it's a good build and you can get a lot of extra damage with it. Okay, but if you're not a free to player, or if you have a lot of modules, don't worry, you can change to attack and you see the wonder of this build. Now, I will cover the part of the extra damage. Getting into the extra damage part, Daltok drone is the drone that we can get a lot of extra damage with it. There are other drones. In the gameplay, I will cover all the drones, but for this specific build in an offensive approach, we use Daltok because in level 4 it has 7% extra damage active all the time, and when you use any active module, you get 20% extra damage. So you have 7, 20, 27%. These combined with the next step will give you almost 100% extra damage. And here is the secret sauce of Bagliore, the passive ability called Groundwork. Because when you stop firing, it accumulates extra damage. Each stack gives you almost 6%, and you can get up to 12. And if you get all of them, you have 69 extra damage, 69% extra damage. This, along with the drone extra damage, gives you almost 100% extra damage. Yes, you see it, it's a lot of damage. If we compare this version to the ultimate version, which has 9600, and if we get this 2500 multiplies by 100%, so we double the damage, we get 5000 damage. It's a half of the ultimate version. So instead of having a boring T3 version, we can make this becomes a T4 version that deals the half of damage of a ultimate version. This with only free to play stuff. Alright, that's awesome. I can see your face right now, and the face of, whoa bro, this is amazing. Have you subscribed already? No, please subscribe right now. Leave your like right now. And on top of that, I will show you a comparison of a Behemoth and a Bagliore, so you can see the difference that these effects can do in the battlefield and in the damage output of these builds. Now you can see the difference between Behemoth with no extra damage and Bagliore with the Groundwork extra damage. 300,000 damage applied to Bagliore, a Titan with defense points, and now Bagliore, a full clip, almost a half a million exactly of extra damage. We can also see how it deals with Repair Amplifier activated. Now it's activated. You can see that it still does a lot of damage because of the explosion effect that these weapons have. Some things that you may have in mind when using this build is the following. There are 3 tips that I must give to you. First of them, every time that you want to engage in a fight with an enemy, you must have your ability, your talent transport active, because your only defense is your teleport. This is your only defense. We are using shield breaker module, so we have no phase shift, we have no healing, we have nothing. Our only defense is to teleport back. So again, every time that you want to engage in a fight, use your teleport so you can run from the fight. Other thing that you must have is a full clip. I know, some of you you are so anxious that you want to shoot every time and only shoot 1, 2, 3 shots, but if you do this, you ruins the build, because we have two problems with it. If you don't wait for your clip to get full, you don't have a lot of ammo to shoot, of course, and you don't have that passive ability accumulated. You don't have that 12 stacks that gives you a huge damage bonus. These are the two problems that you have if you do not wait. It's not that much, guys, it's only a few seconds. If you wait, trust me, you can benefit from a lot of extra damage. On top of that, if you're using the Daltok drone or even the paralysis drone that we have in this gameplay, you can benefit from extra damage. Daltok has 27%, as I already showed you in the hangar. Paralysis drone, when you use the active module, it grants you 12% extra damage. So you can go for these more offensive builds, or you can be more defensive, more cautious, using shy drone, using phase shift. This will be more related to your gameplay style, how comfortable you are using this build, how used you are to the teleport, to position your teleport, to advance, to rush against players. This will always be related to your gameplay style. Don't forget it, because this is important. You see me in these clips always rushing, always taking an advanced position, but if something is not right, if enemy players are pushing too much, I teleport back. As you can see here, I saw many enemies in front of me, so I just teleport back. That's why it's important for you to have your teleport position. Don't do something that I see many players doing, is that you rush with your Bagliore, and then when things are getting ugly, you, in the middle of the battle, like here, imagine that here I decide to throw my teleport. Guys, you don't have time for it. Your teleport must be your ultimate, your last salvation. This is the last step for you to get alive. That's why you have to treat it as something extremely important, otherwise you're gonna die. This is very important. But don't forget, the core of the build relies on two things: the pilot, which is very important because of the 50% defense mitigation. The weapons, of course, you cannot change the weapons, otherwise you won't get this 50% defense mitigation. And Bagliore, because of that 69% extra damage of the ability. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave in the comments if you want another guide. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.